your seat comfy, cross-leg. If it's uncomfortable to sit cross-legged, you can just shoot your legs out straight in front of you. Any shape is good. Just let the hands rest on the tops of the knees. Sit up nice and tall, let the eyes close if you're comfortable. So again, there's probably no one else in the room with you. No one can see you. Closing down the eyes is going to help you get in the zone. We'll set the foundation of our class with the breath like we do every week. Take a big inhale through the nose. Feel the chest lift. You'll feel the crown of your head get a little taller, the spine getting longer, and then a full exhale to release. Again, just like that, big breath in to grow tall, grow bigger, expand, lengthen, and a full breath out to settle into that space. So our class today, all the movements, the positions, I think will feel pretty familiar to you. So I want you to focus really hard on the breath and really working to match the breath with the movement. If you have to manipulate the length or the depth of the breath here and there, just kind of see how that goes, see how that feels, and then we'll check in after class. So from here, one more breath with the eyes closed. Use the breath out to settle in. Let the eyes flutter open, let the light back in. You'll feel a little extra burst of energy. Reach the arms up overhead, fill up the lung. And then drop the right arm down to the floor, reach up and over with the left. Just an easy side bend. Keep your left hip grounded. You can look up. Next breath brings you up through center, and then use the exhale to switch it out, dropping the left hand, palm or fingertips, reach up and over with the right. Feel the length, the expansion from the right hip bone up through the right shoulder. Look up if you can. Inhale brings you through center. And then we'll take an easy twist. So as you exhale, drop your right hand just behind your hips, and you can take your left hand, wrap it around the top of the right thigh or knee, and then look back over the right shoulder. So it doesn't have to be a huge twist. You might feel some cracks through the spine. Just try to keep the spine long by lifting through the crown of the head while you look back toward the wall behind you. So nice and slow. The next inhale, unwind. Reach the arms up as a reset. Face forward, and then exhale, twist to the other side. So left hand drops behind you. Right hand grabs the top of the left leg. And then twist up and around, looking back over the left shoulder. Let's hold here. Use the last exhale to try to twist a little deeper, and then the inhale to bring you back to center, arms up overhead. And then a simple forward fold over the legs as you exhale. So you might feel the hips lift up off the ground. That's great. Sit bones start to kind of spread toward the wall behind you. On the breath in, roll back up, reach the arms up overhead, switch the cross of the legs if you're sitting crisscross. And then another easy, gentle forward fold over the legs, sliding the palms as far forward as you want. It's okay if the hips lift up. And then last time, breathe in, reach the arms up overhead, get tall through the torso, and then make your way into tabletop. So rolling over the knees, planting the palms, set up a nice, strong, aligned table, shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees. We'll take 2 rounds of our classic cat-cow. On the breath in, drop the belly down, pull the heels of your hand toward your knees to open the chest forward, lift the chin, and then exhales cat pose. Big arch through the back, pull the chin to your chest, look between the thighs. And then inhale, cow pose, kind of lazy through the spine, let it drop down, look forward, lift the chin up. And then exhale, arch the back, rainbow through the spine, relax the head. Come back to your table, flat spine. Engage the core, so tight belly muscles, keep a strong spine. That'll help you balance as we move through some extension. So on your next breath in, kick your right heel up and back behind you. Leg is long, foot is flexed, so all 5 of your toes point down to the floor. Grounding into your right palm, reach the left fingertips forward. I like to open my palm toward the right side of the room. That just feels the most natural, but kind of any way that your hand faces is great. Take a breath here, stabilize. Exhale, elbow to knee beneath you. Really press into the right palm to lift up through the back. And then inhale, extend, get nice and long. Fingertips through the heel, and then exhale, crunch it in, knee to elbow beneath you. One more time, inhale, get nice and long. Exhale, tight belly muscles as you pull the elbow knee together beneath you. Last time, inhale to extend, hold here, start to bend your right knee so your foot is pressing on the ceiling. Reach back with the left hand if you want. Bind around the instep of your right foot, taking a tiger pose. So if the bind's not there, don't stress about it. You can just release back into your table or hold your extension for some strength building. If you have the bind, kick your foot into your hand, press the belly to the floor like cow pose. And you want to find a chest expansion here. So the more you kick into the hand, the more your heart's going to pull open forward. Take one more breath in where you are. Really slow as you exhale. Release the bind if you have it. We're going to meet back in tabletop pose. Recenter here. Take just a moment, maybe pick your right hand up, give it a shake to give the wrist a break. And then let's set up to take the same thing on the other side. When you're ready, inhale, left heel kicks up and back behind you. Long, strong leg. Ground through the right knee, the left palm, reach your right hand forward. So fire up the space between the fingers. This will help with balance. Every inch of the body is working together here. Even if it seems minor, take a breath in. Exhale. Crunch, elbow and knee together beneath you, nice and tight squeeze. Inhale, open, lengthen. Exhale, close the body, elbow to knee. Again, inhale, reach long through hand and foot. Last time, elbow crunch. Think about pressing open the space between the scapula, the shoulder blades. Inhale, open, get long. Now option for the bind, bending the left knee like you're gonna press the foot into the ceiling, reaching back with the right hand. Binding around the foot or ankle. If you're taking the bind, keep your foot active, flexing it to protect your knee joint. Kick foot into hand or ankle into hand, opening the heart forward, belly button presses down. Take it as deep or shallow as you want. Last breath in. Gently, slowly, slowly, slowly release the bind, come back to tabletop. Give the left wrist a little shake, a break, and then plant both hands down. Tuck your toes under, take a full breath here, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Shoot your hips up and back. Keep the heels lifted, keep a nice bend in your knees. Start to walk out the dog, fast or slow. A little bit of movement, warming up the hips, the legs. And then come into stillness here. So on the breath in, leading with the shoulders, ripple forward, find your high plank. Just taking a few rolling planks to warm up the spine. Exhale, tighten the belly, use the core to lift the hips up and back right into your downward facing dog. So again, like that on the inhale, leading with the shoulders like a wave, roll forward, passing through high plank, and then exhaling right back into down dog. The core lifts you up and back is strong. One more time, inhale, ripple forward, hold here. Keep the core really tight. We're gonna lower to the floor on a 4 count. Elbows hug into your body. Can drop the knees. Take 4, 3. It's like a really slow push up. 2. Drop to your belly in 1. Untuck your toes. Bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips just to release some pressure on the low back. Take your hands outside of your mat, keeping them in line with the chest, and pop up onto your fingertips. We'll take 3 oscillating cobras, so really emphasizing the rolling motion of the spine. It's going to be kind of the opposite motion of the rolling plank. So on your inhale, press into the fingertips, press into the toes, the hips, lift the chest up off the floor, lift the chin. You can go up as high as you want, it can be really low, and then as you exhale, dip all the way back down to the floor, forehead touches the mat. And then again on your inhale, lift up. Last thing that lifts is your chin. Exhale, roll down. Keep pressing into the feet, into the pelvis. Last one, inhale, roll all the way up. As high as you want, as high as is comfortable. Feels safe, feels comfortable. We'll hold here. Take another breath, see if you can lift the chin just a little higher. And then exhale, take it all the way to the floor. Bring the palms to plant alongside the chest. Give the hips a little shake side to side, kind of getting loosey-goosey in the low body. And now tuck the toes under, either through table or plank, your choice. On your inhale, Pick your body up off the floor, super strong arms, and then exhale into your downward facing dog. Down dog, hold for the breath in. Full, deep, long breath out. Now, on the inhale, lift up your heels. Look between your thumbs and just take a couple of steps, bringing your feet to your hands at the top of the mat, trying to keep the heels of your palms flat as long as you can. Welcome the big bend in your knees to bring your toes all the way to the top. We'll set up for Ragdoll Pose. Feet come about as wide as your hips, maybe a little wider. Big bend in the knees, you'll feel your belly kind of drop between the thighs. It makes a nice little shelf. Opposite, hands to elbows, sway side to side, bob up and down. Whatever feels like it's adding the most space between the back muscles, the back bones. And give the neck a break, shake it out. Shake the head yes and no. Maybe little circles. And then release fingers to the floor. Heel toe your feet back beneath the hips or toes to touch, whatever you'd like. On your inhale, lift up halfway. Keep your fingertips grounded on the floor underneath your shoulders. So if you need to take a big bend in your knees to lift the chest, that's great. We're looking for spine length, not hamstring. Hold this for the breath in, and then exhale, melt over the thighs. On the breath in, sweep all the way up to standing high mountain pose. Bring your arms up overhead, grounding through the heels. Pull your hip bones underneath the shoulders. Super strong core here. So we're looking for a long, flat back and not an arch. Take a breath in to lengthen. Take your right hand, grab the left wrist, and reach up and over, making a half moon with the body, taking an even bigger side bend than before. You can kind of shift the weight from foot to foot to see if that affects your stretch. And find the happy medium that feels good for you. So look up to the sky if you can. Next inhale brings you through center. Switch out the grip, left hand to right wrist. Exhale takes the stretch. Reaching up and over with the right fingertips, but we want to stay long through the left side body as well. So not too much crunching through the left side. Again, look up if you can. Inhale back to center, reach tall. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Nice gingerly bend to your knees. Let the head hang heavy. Now, halfway lift on the breath in. Again, fingertips stay grounded beneath the shoulders. Big bend in the knees is great. Start to shift all the weight into your right foot. Kick your left heel up and back behind you. So we're finding grounded airplane. It's still early. Left heel might not lift super high, but you're going to feel a lot of action in your right glute and the right quad. So we're warming that leg up for some balance down the road. Stay here for a breath in. And then slowly as you exhale, bend into the right knee. Let the left foot land back of the mat for a low lunge. Drop your left knee to the floor and untuck the left toes. So stay here, fingertips are rooted. Take a breath in, pull the heart forward, let the hips press down and forward. Feel the length, the stretch through the left hip flexor. And then as you exhale, climb your hands up onto the top of your right quad. So you can interlace the fingertips together to kind of make a little net with your hands, and then press the palms onto the top of the right thigh. Pull the left hip forward, pull the right hip back to square them in line with the top of the mat. Pull the inner thighs together. So legs are starting to get really engaged. Take a breath in, start to press into the hands. You'll feel the chest lift. As you exhale, press into the top of the left foot, lifting your left knee off the floor. So this is really big stretch on your left foot. If it hurts, you can drop your knee down or drop both fingertips to the floor just to support the upper body a little bit. So the more you lift your chest up, the more weight you're putting in the hips, and the harder it's going to be to lift your left knee up off the floor. So it's just probably going to be really hard. Let's just take one more breath in. Really press the hands into the thigh, and then release left knee to the floor. Both hands frame the right foot. So that was a lot on the left hip. We'll give it a little stretch now. So your left hand, fingertips are grounded on the floor beneath your shoulder. On your inhale, sweep your right arm forward and then up to the sky, opening the chest to the right side of the room. While you do that, pull your left heel toward your bum Right fingertips reach back toward the heel. Maybe your fingertips brush that foot. They're just in the same direction. And then you drop your left foot back down. Right hand meets the floor on the outside of your right foot back to square one. So we're going to take 3 of those circles with the heel lift on your inhale. Reach the arm forward and then up. Left heel pulls to your seat. Arm sweeps around. Maybe they connect for a second and then drop back to square one, your lunge. Again, inhale, reach up, open the chest to the right side, reach back toward the heel and release. Last time, inhale, sweep the arm forward, up, chest is open, heel is lifted, your hamstrings pulling your left heel toward your glutes. So hold here. If you have the bind, right hand around your left ankle or foot, you can hold that for a moment, just like the tiger curls. If the bind's not there, just reach for it. That's strengthening. You'll get there someday. Take a breath in. Let's release on the breath out. Both hands frame your right foot. Tuck your left toes under. On your inhale, reach the hands in front of your right toes. Lift up the left knee. Exhale, step to a forward fold. At the top of your mat, let your upper half hang heavy over the legs. Fingertips are grounded on your inhale, halfway lift. Pull the heart forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing high mountain pose. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Inhale for length. Again, exhale, side bend up and over to the right, just with a breath out. Inhale through center. Switch the grip, left hand, right wrist. Exhale, reach up and over. Big half moon with the body. Crescent moon. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, swan dive to the floor, forward fold. Hands beneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift, so fingertips are grounded. Any bend in your knees. Find 3 points of contact. Now kick your right heel up and back behind you. Grounded airplane. So again, doesn't have to be really high. The focus here is on activating and engaging the left leg. Take a breath in. Slowly bend the left knee. As you exhale, right foot lands at the back of the mat. Drop the right knee down. Untuck your right toes. Fingertips stay grounded. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Press the hips forward. Find a little stretch and length through the right side. And now exhale, climb your hands up to the top of the left knee. So again, we're setting up for this lunge variation. You can make a basket with your hands and then press the palms into the top of your knee. Take a breath in, press hand into knee, lift up and out of the left hip, crown of the head grows tall. Exhale, press into the top of your right foot. See if you can lift the right knee up off the floor. And then we'll hold here. So again, a couple of options. You can release your hands on either side of the left foot for a little extra support. Or keep them pressing to the top of the thigh. The more you press into the left thigh, the higher you're going to reach to the crown of the head. Wherever you are, one breath in. Release on the breath out. Hands frame your left foot on your, and keep your right hand grounded. On your inhale, left arm reaches forward, up, and open. Chest starts to open up to the left side. Use your hamstring to pull your right heel toward your seat. Left hand reaches back toward the right heel. Maybe they connect for a second and then release back to your lunge. Drop the right foot down. So again, on your inhale, sweep your left arm forward, up and around as you pull your right heel toward your glute. Left hand reaches back. Maybe they connect. And then you release. Last time, inhale. Sweep your arm forward, up, around, chest opens to the left side. Right heel is squeezing toward your glute. If the bind is there, hold it for a second. If it's not there, keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Take a breath in and release. So that was more about strengthening your hamstring than about finding a flexible stretch there. So again, no stress if you didn't find the bind. Back to our low lunge. Look toward the top of your mat. On your breath in, reach the hands forward. Lift up your right knee. Exhale, step forward to a fold and relax over the legs. Inhale is a half flip. Hands beneath the shoulders. Pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold, release, relax. Inhale, sweep all the way up to stand high mountain pose. Arms grow tall overhead. And exhale, right into swan dive, forward fold, take it to the floor. Halfway lift on the breath in. On the exhale, plant your palms. Step or hop back to your high plank. Hold the high plank for a breath in. Squeeze the elbows in toward the side bodies as you exhale to your belly. Try to stay controlled and tight as you come onto the floor. Untuck the toes, press into the tops of the feet, the hips. Inhale is Cobra Pose. Regular Cobra, just lift the chest up, little to no weight in the palms of fingertips. Hold for an extra inhale. And exhale, release, forehead down. Tuck the toes back under, either through your table or your high plank. Inhale brings you up off the floor, and then exhale pulls you back into your down dog. And rest for a full breath cycle. Find a nice stretch here. Let this pose be a place to relax but stay engaged. Now, lift up on your heels, look between your thumbs as you inhale. Carefully as you exhale, right foot steps outside of the right pinky, and then left foot steps outside of the left pinky. We're finding a Yogi Squat. So we're just passing through this first squat. See if you can make your squat pretty narrow, so feet are still on the mat, toes are pointing forward. You don't have to be fully relaxed, hips beneath, between the legs here. If your hips are lifted a foot or so off the ground in a kind of sumo squat, that's really great too. Let's take one breath in. Full breath out. Start to really spike into your feet. On your inhale, come all the way up to standing. Hands can come heart center. And then heel toe your feet so they're about 1 foot space outside of your hips. So they might already be there from our narrow squat. We're setting up to take king chair. So reach your arms up overhead, take a breath in, and then exhale, squat really low, just like you're sitting in chair pose, but legs are pretty wide. Weight comes back in your heels. Bring your hands heart center. We're gonna take a twist here. On your breath in, lean forward, reach the crown of the head toward the front of the room. As you exhale, your left elbow comes to the inside of your left leg. So it's not gonna feel like a super deep twist. Keep squeezing the knees toward one another so they're not opening up to the sides of the room. Knees are stacked over the ankles. You can fly the arms open, your left hand finding the ground on the inside of the left ankle. Right hand reaches high. The arms are open. Try to press the back of your right hand toward the wall behind you. Last breath in. Exhale to center, palms heart center. We'll reset, take it on the other side. Inhale, drop the chest low toward the quads, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, right elbow to the inside of your right knee. Press knee into elbow, elbow into knee. I'm shaking, twist your chest open to the left, maybe. Arms wide open, your right hand to the floor inside the right leg. Look up to the sky if you can. Last breath in. Exhale to center, palms heart center, and then lower into your Yogi Squat. So coming back down into our squat, we want to take kind of a classic Yogi Squat. So you can widen your feet, kind of wiggle them toward the outer edges of your mat, and maybe stick a block underneath your seat to feel more of a relaxing in the hips rather than action like we did in our first squat. Press your elbows onto the inner thigh, lift up through the crown of the head. We're gonna take twists in our squat. Reach your left hand out toward the floor in front of your left toes. Right arm reaches up overhead. Nice side stretch through the right side. Don't worry about the weight distribution in your feet, just find a good stretch. Come through center. Reset, palms heart center again. Elbows pressing the knees open, the hips open. Now extend the right arm. Fingertips plant in front of the right toes. Reach the left arm up overhead. Let the gaze follow the left fingers. Big breath in. And then exhale through center. Plant your hands on the ground. Step or hop back to a plank. Hold your plank for the breath in. So let's take a classic flow here. Exhale halfway down, low plank option, and drop your knees. Inhale, full up dog. Rolling onto the tops of the feet, press into the hands, pull the heart forward. Hips, thighs are lifted. Next breath out. Send your hips up and back. Roll over the toes. Find your downward facing dog. From down dog, lift up your heels, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop, feet to hands. Forward fold top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, nice long spine. Exhale, relax, melt. Inhale, all the way up to high mountain pose. So grounding down through the heels. We're gonna jump into some balance work. Setting up staff pose. Right leg is your trunk. Inhale, pulls your left knee up toward the chest. So left foot stays flexed to help the leg be integrated with the rest of the body, and our movement will feel more stable. Bring your arms out to a T. Cross the left ankle over your right knee and sit back, figure 4 with wide arms. So we're gonna move through a bunch of poses with our arms wide open. You can use them like teeter-totter or try to press the hands toward the wall behind you, opening up the chest. Take a breath here, sit a little lower in the hips if you can. Exhale, try to dip your chest down toward the left shin. Think drinking bird through the upper body. You're dipping low, heart is open. Carefully on the breath in, let's come back to staff pose. Keep the arms wide. So holding our arms wide open like this is gonna come really hard on the biceps. You can always bring your hands heart center for a break. So breath in, and then airplane pose. Arms are in a T as you exhale. Kick the left heel up and back behind you. Palms face the floor. The more you press the back of your hands to the sky, again, the more it's gonna open up your chest. Breath in, stabilize through that right leg. So slow, seriously as slow as you can. Start to open up into your half moon. Let your right fingertips drop down toward the floor. Just underneath the right shoulder, right in line with your left toes. The slower you move, the more you're gonna feel all your joints and ligaments and everything helping you navigate the movement. Slow and steady. Take a breath in. Start to bend into your right knee, super deep bend. Left foot drops to the back of the mat. Star pose, arms wide in a T. Press the hips forward a little to feel a little opening through the hip flexors. Now, pivot your feet, setting up wide leg fold in the low body. Knife edges of the feet parallel with the short edges of the mat. Add a little bend in your knees. Tighten your core. Inhale, lift up through the head. Exhale, lower just halfway down. Keep the arms lifted. Keep the bend in your knees, press into the feet. Inhale, right back up, lift the chest over the hips. And then again, lower halfway. This might feel easy or it might feel difficult on the hamstrings. Inhale one more time, chest lifts up over the hips. And now exhale into your wide leg fold. You can let the hands relax beneath the shoulders for a moment or grab the outside of your ankles. Relax the upper body. You can kind of shift the weight side to side, bend and straighten into the legs. Little movement, little free movement to kind of loosen up before we keep moving. Hands come beneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift up halfway. Re-engage the legs, tight core. Exhale, hands to your hips. Use the belly muscles, the spinal muscles. Inhale, all the way up. Shoulders lift over the hips. Arms open wide like you're gonna give a hug. Now, keeping your hands in a T, start to pivot. Right toes face forward. We're coming into a high lunge with wide open arms. So align the hips with the front of the mat. Your left heel lifts up over the toes. Take a breath in. Keep the low body still as a statue. Exhale, twist the upper body into an open twist to the right side. So you pivot the torso all the way toward the right. Now, inhale as exalted warrior. Reach up and back with the left hand. Right hand can find the left quad or it can just hang down to the floor. As you exhale, revolve crescent lunge. So you're gonna reach the left hand forward, 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 and then drop the left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Right fingertips reach up to the sky. Try to stay wide open with the arms rather than bringing your hands heart center here. It's okay if you don't hinge forward as far. Maybe it's the forearm that's pressing into the leg. Look up over your right hand. Inhale, lift back up into your wide arm, high lunge. Exhale, re-square the chest with the front of the mat. Arms are wide. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, modified pyramid. Drop the chest over the right leg. You can release your fingertips to the floor on either side of the right ankle. Left heel stays lifted up over the toes. Take a second, find a nice stretch here. Welcome the bend through the right knee. Doesn't need to be too strenuous on your right hamstring, so the more you bend there, the more relief you'll find. On the breath in, bend into the right leg. Reach the fingertips toward the top of the mat. Exhale, step into a forward fold, top of your space. Relax for a moment. Inhale is a halfway lift. Exhale is a fold. Inhale all the way up, high mountain pose. Exhale your hands heart center for a reset. So we're gonna run through that on the other side and then take it down to the floor. So staff pose, inhale, arms up overhead, ground into the left foot, right knee pulls up into your chest. Exhale, bring your arms out wide into a T. Biceps are not getting a break yet. Start to cross your right ankle over the left knee and sit low through the hips. So engage the right leg by keeping that foot flexed, toes pulling toward the knee. Sit as low as you can. Start to drop your chest toward your right shin while keeping the hips low. Feel the stretch outside of your right hip, right glute. Lift up through the left ankle if you're feeling out of balance. Nice and slow, inhale back to staff, arms stay wide, knee to chest. Exhale's airplane pose, move slow. Kick your right heel up and back behind you. So you're using your right glute, your right hamstring, and your spine to lift your heel up. Try to keep your right hip low in line with the left. Breath in, stabilize the left leg. So slow, half moon as you exhale. Left fingertips reach toward the floor, right reach toward the sky. Try to turn the right toes up to the ceiling. It's gonna help the opening of the hips. Take one breath in, so slow. Bend into the left knee, let the right leg drop at the back of the mat. Star pose, arms wide. Exhale, pivot the feet so toes point toward the right side of the mat. Knife edge of the feet, nice in line with the mat. Inhale to lift through the crown of the head. Little bend in the knees, tight belly. Exhale, lower halfway. Lengthen the spine here. Inhale, lift back up to standing. Exhale again, lower halfway. As you lower, press the back of your hands toward the ceiling. Expand the chest. Lift back up. Last time, inhale. And exhale, swan dive into your forward fold. Drop the hands wherever you'd like, to the floor, to your ankles. Maybe walk your hands between the legs, kind of pulling the chest deeper, pulling the belly deeper between the quads. You will not stay here quite as long. Bring the hands beneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, tight belly. Bring your hands to your hips. And then inhale all the way up to stand. Bring the arms wide open. Exhale is our high lunge facing forward. Pivot the right heel up over the toes. Take a deep bend in the left leg. Take a breath here to settle in. Exhale, open arm twist to the left, rotating the torso. Inhale, exalt your warrior, reach up and back. Right fingertips, left can find your right leg or just let it hang to the floor. Slow transition as you exhale into your revolved high lunge. Try to keep the arms wide open so your right hand, or your right elbow seeks the outside of your left knee. Maybe it's the right forearm or the outside of the upper arm. Press knee into arm, arm into knee. Twist deeper, look up if you can over the left fingertips. Next inhale brings you back to your open arm twist. Exhale, rotate the chest so it's facing forward, straighten into the left leg, and swan dive into your modified pyramid, dropping the torso over the left leg. Keep your right heel lifted. Think about pulling the forehead toward the toes or toward the ankle to lengthen the back as you're folding. And on your next breath in, bend into your left knee, look forward, reach the fingertips in front of your left toes. Exhale, hop your right foot to meet the left, take a fold at the top of the mat. Inhale is a half lift, nice and long. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop to your high plank. Simple flow, hold the high plank for the breath in. Exhale is halfway down, maybe you come to your belly or drop the knees. Inhale's heart opener, up dog, cobra, maybe you skip it. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a breath here, Phil. Full breath out. On your inhale, lift up the heels, look forward between your thumbs. Exhale, hop or step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale is a half lift, lengthen. Exhale is a release. Inhale all the way up to standing high mountain pose. And exhale your hands, heart center. Okay, so really quick, we're gonna take that same flow, breath to movement. It'll go really quickly, and then we're gonna settle down. So just stick with me, manipulate the breath here. This is where it might feel kind of hard to match the breath and movement, but just give it a go. We'll see how it flows. Inhale, staff pose, left knee to chest. Open the arms wide like a T. Cross your left knee over the ankle. Lower as you exhale into your figure four. Dip your chest toward your shin. Inhale lifts you back up, staff pose. Exhale is your airplane pose. Use the inhale to stabilize here. Exhale, half moon. Again, inhale to stabilize. I guess a couple extra breaths in here. Exhale, drop your left foot. Star pose for the breath in. Pivot the feet, paralleling the feet with the edges of the mat. Exhale, halfway down. Reach the crown of the head forward. Inhale, back to standing, lift the chest. Exhale, wide arm, high lunge, hips and chest face forward. Inhale to stay. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Inhale, exalted warrior, reach up and back, nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward, revolved, revolved, high lunge, just for the breath out. Inhale, back to your open arm twist. Exhale to high lunge, arms are wide, chest is in line with the front of the mat. Inhale, extend your right leg. Exhale, fall into your modified pyramid, hands drop to the floor. On the inhale, low lunge, bend into the right knee, reach forward. Exhale, step left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, relax, release. Inhale, high mountain pose, grow tall. Exhale your hands, heart center. I'm having a hard time talking and matching my breath and movement. So it's a good challenge for me. Real quick on the other side, ground down through your left foot. Inhale, staff pose, right knee to chest. Open the arms wide, cross right leg over left. Sit low as you exhale. Dip your chest over the right leg. Inhale, staff pose, arms are wide. Exhale, airplane pose. Stay for the inhale. Lift up through the inside of your left ankle. Exhale is half moon. Drop your left hand to the floor. Bend into the left knee. Inhale into star pose. Open the heart, the hips. Pivot the feet into wide leg fold in the low body. Exhale, lower the chest just halfway. Strong quads and strong back. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, wide arm, high lunge, hips and chest pull forward. Stay for the breath in. Try to sink a little lower into the left knee. Exhale, open arm twist to the left side. Exalt your warrior as you inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, revolved high lunge, open arms. Right arm drops outside the left leg. Inhale, back into your open arm twist. Exhale, pivot the chest forward. Inhale, extend the left leg and swan dive into your modified pyramid. Let the upper body melt over the left leg. Inhale, low lunge, bend into the left leg, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot to meet the left, forward fold at the top of your mat. Start to just slowly lower onto your knees. Keep your toes tucked under. So your hips and shoulders are lifted up, just like you're standing on your knees. The toes tucked under kind of gives you some stability and also some buoyancy in the lower body. Reach your arms up overhead. Left arm drops to your waist. Take a breath in. As you exhale, reach the right arm up and back, press the hips forward. This is a gentle camel variation, so here's our back bend. Inhale back to center, left arm reaches up, right hand meets your hip. Use the next breath to get tall, lift up and out of the hips. And the exhale, hips press forward, chest lifts up and open to the sky as your left fingertips reach back. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, both hands to your hips. Last time, reach up through the crown of your head as you breathe in. Exhale is our modified camel, hips press forward. Just keep your hands on the hips. Lift up and out of the low back. Next breath brings you through center. And untuck the toes, drop your hips toward the heels. Come into rock pose. It's just like child pose. Forehead comes down to the mat and the arms rest just alongside your ankles. So we did a lot of heart openers and back bends and twists with the chest lifted and open. And here you can just kind of cave into yourself, curl over the body and relax for a moment. You'll feel a nice gentle pull through the low spine. Now bring your hands beneath your shoulders. Just gently lift up the chest. You can add some pressure on the hands so it's an easy transition. And then just roll over onto your seat. Extend your legs long in front of you. Keep a little bend in the knees so your knees are lifted up off the floor. You can do that by kind of using your heels as a wedge in the ground. Toes point up to the sky. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold over the legs. Keep the bend and just let the arms relax on either side of the legs rather than binding around your feet. So again, we're looking for the low back release here rather than a big hamstring stretch. Let the forehead just drop down toward the legs. Chin drops to your chest. One more breath here. Stay for your exhale. And then on your inhale, lift up your chest. You can relax the legs all the way so the knees might reach the floor now. Reach your fingertips forward. Take a breath in, lift up the chest, tighten the core. And then use the exhale to super slowly roll down onto your back. Now bend the knees 90 degrees, feet are flexed. We're going to take a recline figure 4, recline pigeon to stretch out our hips for one last pose. So right ankle crosses over the left knee. And then take your hands, bind them behind the left thigh. If that feels far away or feels uncomfortable, drop your left heel to the floor. If you have the bind, you can use the strength of your arms to pull the legs, the knees closer to your chest, but keep your your sacrum, the low back, rooted down. You'll feel a big pull outer line of the right leg. So just like we did in figure 4 while we were standing. Carefully release. Both knees come back to 90. Switch it out. Cross the left ankle over the top of the right knee. Bind or no bind. Keep the left knee pressing open, so the outside of the knee is pressing toward the top of the mat. Both feet are flexed. Stay for the inhale and try to stretch deeper on the exhale. Release the legs. Last pose is happy baby. So yogi's choice, bring the knees wide around the chest, find the hands behind the quads, the calves, or wrap your hands around your feet. Getting a double hip stretch here. You can rock side to side if you want. Bend and straighten into the legs. Always focusing on what feels good and not stressing about how strong it feels or how flexible, just what feels good. All right, carefully release. Pull your knees into your chest. Start to take little rocks forward and back. Use the momentum, come up to a seat. easy, comfortable seat. Last moment, last breath together. Reach your arms up overhead. Get tall through the torso. Exhale your hands, heart center. And we're finished. Thank you so much. I had to cut out a couple things like usual. That went a little longer than I thought, but that was really fun. Let me know how that felt. I hope the kind of wide arm thing wasn't confusing. Just something a little different.